Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now. Set aside your...
Hello everybody and welcome back to Jade's Crafty Life. If you are new to my channel, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing and the notification bell to be notified when all my new videos go live. Also join us over on Instagram, Facebook and other social medias. Let's be friends. Let's talk about colouring. Let's talk about crafts, you know. I love it so much and I could talk about it all day, as I'm sure a lot of you could. So as you can see, today's video I'm going to get stuck straight in because I have quite a bit to get done today and I'm actually filming a few different videos today, so keep an eye on the channel for new videos popping up. But we are looking and having a flip through of Colouring Heaven's latest subscription magazine, Dragons Special. So this month, this is the magazine that we got in the post and it is super cute. I've seen that there's mixed views about it. Some people like dragons, some people don't. That's just how it's going to go, but I think they're really adorable and there's a lot for you to again colour in on the front cover as usual, which is awesome. I think I've seen a few people actually finish colouring the front cover already, so they were very fast for that, and I'm going to have a go at colouring the front cover as well at some point. But this is really cute. So in here we have 40 intricate designs by dragonologist Dr. Ernest Drake. So obviously he's been studying dragons and stuff. There's a few different types of dragons, as you can see. I think this one is really cute. He looks really like mischievous and like he's just going to have a lot of fun. Like I say, every month with the Colouring Heaven subscription, you can sign up on the website. I'm going to put the link down below in the description for you, just as a faster way of getting there for you. And you can purchase their magazines online, but kind of once they're gone, they're gone. But you can also sign up to a monthly club where you'll receive one of these books every single month through your front door and have plenty of stuff to colour in. So let's open up the first page then. So again, as usual, and inside the front cover, let me just move it over a little bit. Inside the front cover we have the colour combination chart where you can test out your colours, try a few different techniques, try a few different combinations there. If say you wanted to colour in a dragon a certain colour but you weren't sure if they would go well together, you can test it there, which is super awesome. On the left hand side here we have introduction to Dr. Ernest Drake, so it's got a bit about him and his background, and it's got where you can find them all on the social medias and all the information that you would need for that. So starting with the first page then, this one is really cute. It says Marsupial Dragon, Southeast Australia. It's an Australian dragon and I really like, there's some little like crystal things here, so they're going to be quite cool to colour in. And then you can see that there's like the outline of Australia behind the dragon there with some lines coming out, so you could probably make this one really pop out the page and make it stand out. It's like, wow, dragon from Australia, so that's really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing people's takes on these pages again. So this page then, on the left hand side, which is the same in all Colouring Heaven magazines, they describe a bit about the design, the artwork and number the pages for ease of access. And so you can also, there is a fan page of Colouring Heaven on Facebook, and you can go on there and actually add your finished pictures to each folder. So they have a folder for each magazine and you can just pop your finished designs on there and you'll be able to see other people's as well. So it's super easy having the names and numbers there. So the first page, it's saying again that it was a marsupial dragon, and I don't know if I'm going to try and say these words. Draco marsupialis. I don't know, and I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's a dragon in another language, but I'm not sure. Here on page number 2 we have another marsupial dragon, and it says, once common throughout Australia, the marsupial dragon is now found only in the southeast. Confined largely to the eucalyptus forests and foothills of the Blue Mountains, it remains one of the easiest dragons to spot at a distance, thanks to its distinctive bouncing gait similar to that of the red kangaroo. No other dragon has such an exuberant form of locomotion. It can cover up to 30 feet in a single bound. Marsupials are thought to intentionally start bushfires to make it easy to catch prey and to cause boulder avalanches by bouncing near unstable slopes in order to create new nesting sites. Common coloration is green or blue with brownish yellow underparts. They have stubby spines along their back and heat-resistant scales all over their body. Their head is small with little adornment apart from 2 white horns. They use their ears expressively, laid down and back is a sign of aggression. So that's really, really cool. I really like that because obviously dragons aren't real, but it's kind of turning the dragon into it's like a kangaroo that you find in Australia, and they're giving a lot of information as though they are real, so you can kind of get lost in like a magical mystical world colouring this book in, and it's given a lot of description, and I really, really love that. It's kind of turning it into a story as well, and it's given this dragon character and kind of makes you feel like you know it kind of thing. I love that they also put in a suggestion for like what colour this dragon should be coloured in. Obviously you don't have to do it that colour, but that's helped me a lot because I always struggle. I always kind of want to do dragons in green or purple, and I would never really venture out of those colours for a dragon, but I'm probably going to give the suggestions a go for these dragons to really add different colours throughout the book. But as you can see, the picture itself, it does kind of give the image of a dragon kangaroo. So we've got the long tail like a kangaroo, and then we've got the little baby in the pouch, and the dragon back on 2 legs, and then he's got his little wings there. So this is really, really cool, and I love it, the way that they've done this and turned the dragon into a kangaroo. So I'm going to have a lot of fun colouring this book, I think, and I actually think I'm going to find this book really exciting. But it's super cute. Look at the little baby in the pouch. Well, it's actually got some more arms there, so it's got like big legs, little arms, and then little wings. And a little beard. That's really cute. Moving on, number 3. This one is a giant lily dragon, Draco Americanus tex. So this one looks like it lives in trees, I'm guessing. I'm not sure what these spine things are. Maybe it's going to explain that. If you don't want to listen to me explain these little things, literally just skip, but I just thought I'd read them out to you in case you're curious as to what it says, because I don't know if you can see it from that far away on the video. So this one says, commonly known as the moth dragon, due to its habit of hunting only at night, the American amphithy, I don't know how you say that, is a particularly mordacious creature that will snap and bite at almost anything. It preys on the large mammals of North America, typically buffalo, although cowboys out riding after dark may also be taken. Moth dragons often live in groups, as individuals were once heavily hunted by various Native American peoples. The dragon's soft belly provides little protection, not least against the skilled use of a bow and arrow. Moth dragons' iridescent feathers have a fur-like appearance and are usually purple, though red, blue and green variants are seen. Their body is almost completely covered in feathers, with the exception of its bright yellow belly. The head is armed with a powerful snapping beak, usually yellow or orange. So that kind of gives me the vibes of a bit phoenixy, with the bright yellows and oranges and stuff and the feathers all over, but also making it iridescent. That's going to be quite a challenge, because I actually find that really difficult to do when colouring, unless I use some kind of paints that's already iridescent and stuff. So I would actually love it if some of you would tag me in your finished pieces of these, not just this one, but of different dragons throughout this book. I would absolutely love if you could tag me in your finished colourings of these dragons, so that I can just see everyone's take on it. I get really interested in it, and I love looking at all different ideas and how people have taken the information and gone and taken it with their own adaptation and put their own like touch into the image. So please don't hesitate to tag me on Instagram. I'll give you a follow and all that stuff, but I would love to see the different dragons that you've coloured throughout this book and your take on each one, because each one's going to be unique in their own way. It's probably going to take me a long video to film this, so I do apologise, but I want to take my time. You know, they put a lot of time and effort into making these. The artwork is always superb, and it must have taken the artist so long to design these and draw them and whatever it is they do. So I'm going to take a bit of time just going through each one and taking my time, having a look in detail and reading the detail. So this one is called a humming dragon, so it's kind of like a hummingbird, and you can kind of make out the size of it because it's next to a butterfly, so I imagine it's not a very big dragon. Draco minimus floralis, I don't know. Draco minimus Minimus floralis, the Argentinian humming dragon, was the smallest of all dragon species, measuring perhaps 3 or 4 inches from nose to tail tip, and fed on the insects that visit flowers, capable of breathing fire, which it would produce in an involuntary movement if the spines along the back of its neck were stroked. The humming dragon became highly prized by gauchos during the early part of the 19th century as field matches, used for lighting campfires. None have been spotted in the wild since 1820. It is hard to give any definitive guidance on the coloration of humming dragons, as they came in a wide range of patterns and hues, mimicking the appearance of the butterflies they would seek out as prey on the Argentinian pampas. I love that so much. So it's a little baby dragon, not baby but like little tiny dragon, and they breathe fire if you give it a little stroke on the back of the neck, so that's really cute. So that people used to use them as matches. But yeah, it doesn't really give much for the colouring suggestions on this page, so that's going to be really cool. Everyone can take their own adaptation and make it their own. This one's just like the one on the front cover, so I guess we're probably going throughout the world with these dragons. So this is a number 5 European dragon, Draco Occidentalis Magnus. I don't know, but as you can see, this one is a dragon, and it may be like featuring dragons then that are based in Europe. So you can see the countries around there. You can see England and probably around about here somewhere. And then you've got like a really cool dragon. This one looks like it's getting a bit tougher, a bit scary. I like his eye. I actually look forward to colouring their eyes in. When I see it, when I think of dragon's eyes, for some reason I always picture that big eye on Lord of the Rings. Is it called Sauron's eye or something? I don't know why. I just imagine a dragon's eye being like full of fire and orange and yellows and stuff. Right, I'm trying to make sure I have it all in frame for you, so it's you can see it properly. So number 6 then, European dragon, Draco Occidentalis Magnus. Having colonised the globe, the European dragon has developed a talent for learning other languages and can now be found in mountainous regions throughout the world. The hoarding instinct is strong in certain species, and this dragon is perhaps the most adept at collecting treasure. Any shiny bauble may prove to be of interest. Precious metals, especially gold in any form, and even books are popular amongst educated specimens. European dragons can be red, green, black, or occasionally gold. They have an intelligent demeanour with piercing eyes that can range from golden yellow to olive green. The belly has a smoother, paler appearance than the rest of their body, with less armour than the back and sides, which are covered in scales and thick spines. So again, we've got a lot of detail into what this dragon should look like, or would look like, so you don't obviously have to copy that. You can see that he's stood on a lot of golden coins, so it looks like he's found a lot of treasure to come and hide in his nest. So I kind of see this dragon like a magpie, stealing everybody's shiny stuff, but he looks happy there with all his gold, and he's got a little egg, so that's really cute. I wonder what colour I'm going to colour him in, because I like the fact that you could do it gold, because that's kind of different to the other dragons, and I wouldn't normally think of doing a dragon gold, but then again it might be too much gold if I end up colouring all this in gold, so we'll see. Number 7, I love the look of this one. He looks super mischievous and like he's interested in what you're coming to do. So number 7 then, monkey dragon, Draco Simius ovulator. D. Simius ovulator, the egg-throwing monkey dragon, was a forest carnivore that lived on jungle fowl. The female dragons developed a defensive strategy that involved throwing their own rock-hard eggs at interlopers before launching a fiery attack. This strategy worked well against predators such as tigers, which left the eggs untouched, but failed against humans who collected the eggs and used them as weights for fishing nets or as ornaments. Knowing nothing about bringing up baby dragons, the humans were unable to hatch the eggs, and the species died out around 1830. Monkey dragons had blue eyes and were striped yellow and black like the tigers that so often sought to devour them. The eggs were a variety of pinks and reds. That's really interesting. So he's really kind of mischievous and funny like a monkey would be. I love the way he's wrapped his tail around the tree. He's hanging out the tree like a monkey, and he's got some eggs in his hand, well, an egg. He just looks really funny. He's like got a little beard, and he's holding on with his wings as well. I love that. He may be the first one that I colour, I think, because I love things that are, I love monkeys. I would love a monkey as a pet. Like, I just love it so much. I watch a monkey on TikTok. I can't remember her name now, but she's so cute. So I like that one. Number 8, sea serpent. This one looks super scary. I get scared of sea creatures. Sea serpent. The sea serpent, be it a variety of leviathan, giant squid or whale, has often been called the dragon of the seas. However, it seems likely that the evolution of this creature is entirely different from that of true dragons. They live in the underwater tunnels and coral caverns of the world's oceans. Sunken wrecks are among their favourite haunts. The sea serpent does not breathe fire. Instead, it relies on constriction and a nasty bite to secure its prey. Sea serpents are usually blue, green, grey or yellow and are similar in appearance to sea snakes, though much larger. Their body is mostly covered with overlapping fish-like scales with smoother bands across the belly. Interesting. Look at all the fish coming to see what he is like. What are you doing in our sea? You're super scary. But he does look quite vicious. You can tell that bite's going to be a nasty bite with them teeth. But I like this. I'll probably stay away from doing him blue because obviously he's in the sea, so the background will probably be blue. So I'm probably going to do him, like it says, like some yellows or greys and maybe like turquoisey, I'm not sure. I feel like I've seen, yeah, this is like Chinese dragon. Chinese lung, number 9. Let me make sure they're in the screen. Keep moving the book, I apologise. Draco orientalis magnus. Of all the Asian dragons, the Chinese or imperial lung has the longest association with humans. Benevolent and wise, it is adept at a great number of the human arts and speaks many of our languages fluently. Most often found near rivers or lakes, usually in mountainous regions, the Chinese lung avoids locations close to large human populations. Though unable to fly, the dragon uses its powerful legs and tail to leap to considerable heights. Larger males can propel themselves well over 100 feet into the air and will attempt to outdo one another to impress females. The lung's head is large and its feathery mane and long whiskery feelers give even juveniles a distinguished appearance. Their feelers change colour in the breeding season, becoming red, orange or bright yellow in both sexes. Male have white stag-like horns replaced once every 10 years. This is so cool. Like it literally makes you feel like the dragons are real and you can go outside and find them in the wild. Like, that would be cool, but also not, because it would be scary. It'd be like a real life Jurassic Park. But yeah, this looks really interesting. I'm getting the vibe of doing loads of reds and yellows, because that's how you kind of see it, isn't it, for the Chinese New Year and stuff. I just see a lot of reds and yellows in this one, but that's really interesting. I feel like I'm learning a lot as well. It's really strange. Number 10 then, so we're back to another map location. So we're at Korea now. Korean Yong. So I'm sorry if I say any of these words wrong. I don't know how you pronounce some of the words, so I'm trying my best. But again, this is another dragon that's a bit like the previous one we've just seen, and we've got some more of the crystals there, so that's really cool. Number 11, Korean Yong. Korean Yong. Less friendly than its Chinese counterpart, the Korean Yong is nevertheless an intriguing and an intelligent beast. It prefers hot rather than cold water and is therefore most commonly found bathing in the volcanic springs of its mountain home. The young prefers to constrict its prey before swallowing them whole. Many will perform a strange dance in front of the intended victim, writhing and swaying in a complex coiling movement. This, along with its eerie cry, will hypnotise the victim, which remains transfixed until it's too late to escape. Narrower and longer than its Chinese cousin, the Yong has a similar sinuous body shape, 4 legs, each with 4 toes and no wings. Yong have larger scales than other species and are usually yellow or gold in colour with a whitish mane and whiskers. That's really cool. You can see it as well, like twisting and twirling up into like a coil. And it looks like it's like, surprise, at the top. But that's really interesting. I really like that. And I like this part of his tail as well. It's all feathery. It looks like he's standing on one leg. And he's got the other leg in the air, and then it looks like he's dancing, doesn't he? That's really interesting. I like it. I like the bold lines in these designs as well, because I find that a lot easier to colour in, the bold lines. This one looks very interesting. It looks really peacocky, I think, on the head. Oh, I don't know how you say this. It is kind of like what I said. Cockatrice, I guess it's like a cockerel, cockatiel, I don't know, like a chicken. Perhaps a distant relative of both dragons and phoenixes and descended from the Archaeopteryx of prehistory. The cockatrice is possibly the most dangerous of the brackets false dragons, thanks to its poisonous breath and voracious appetite. This bird-like creature will feed on anything that moves, apart from toads or snakes, which it will not touch, likely because, for reasons unknown, these two animals voluntarily incubate their dragon's eggs. The cockatrice is found in Mediterranean mountains, forests, and may ambush its prey by hiding under a mound of pine cones gathered for its purpose. Cockatrices are usually red, sometimes green, with a yellowish-orange belly, a multitude of long spines from a distinctive crest that runs from the forehead to the back of the neck. The scales on its face and neck give way to feathers and leathery wings with hooks at the elbows. Interesting. I didn't realise they were elbows. How weird. But it does kind of look like chickenish, doesn't it? Like chicken legs. And then you've got the strange head thing. That's going to be a strange one to colour, I think. I don't feel like I've actually ever coloured images like these before. I've coloured dragons, but they've been like the typical basic dragons, not dragons with kind of this different and a lot of detail kind of thing, and maybe attempting to do like a leather look and feathers and doing the different colours. But this one looks like it's going to be quite colourful if you go with the suggestions. So they're usually red, sometimes green, and then a yellow or orange belly. So you could do like red and green with the orange belly. So that's really like colourful. I'm interested to see those as well. I say that a lot, but I just love seeing everyone's takes and the way that they put their own touch onto images, because everyone's is different in their own way and they're all good in their own way. How cute does this one look? It looks so sad. It looks like it just wants you to throw a bone. Like, go on, throw the bone. Go on. That's so cute. This reminds me of my little cat. So, Draco Stupidus. There's a reason why this reminds me of my little cat, because she is a little terror and she's in everything. She's so mischievous, but she's also cute and funny. The extinct Draco Stupidus of Easter Island in the South Pacific was one of the few dragons known to have been a rapacious devourer of human beings. It selected its victims by choosing those with the largest heads. The islanders responded by carving huge heads from the local stone, which D. Stupidus would then select as prey. Unable to eat the stone statues, the species quickly became extinct. Unfortunately, the islanders themselves suffered the same fate when their own source of food died out some years later. Existing reports of D. Stupidus sightings give conflicting descriptions. Some suggest that it had a black upper body covered in small white flecks, a white underbody and prominent red ears. Others claim that it was the underbody and flecks on its back that were red, and that the ears and head were both white. It is possible that one explorer had spied a male of this unfortunate species, while the other had spotted a female. That is so cool. So I wouldn't have expected that of this dragon. Looking at him, I'm thinking, oh, he looks really cute and really friendly and stuff. And then he actually wanted to eat humans, like super scary. But he was pretty stupid and thought that stone heads was the same as a human head and tried to eat the stones. I love that. It's literally adding humour to the colouring book. This is super cool. I love this edition so far. You can see he's got a little nest of eggs there. And then he's got like his spots, so you can choose kind of whether you want it to be male or female, I guess. Tasmanian dragon. These look really strange, Tasmanian dragons. I kind of recognise them in a weird way, but I like the way they've got like the spines on their eyebrows, and they've got little itty bitty teeth. Affectionately known as the Tassie, this species now faces possible extinction due to the fact that its main food, the Tasmanian emu, has been eradicated through hunting. A small flightless tree-dwelling marsupial, the Tassie frequently waits in eucalyptus trees for prey to pass underneath, then glides down to make a surprise attack, lashing out with its teeth, claws and tail, which features a poison-tipped barb. No trace of a footprint has ever been found. Females give birth to a single live chick, which remains in a pouch on the mother's back until it is fully grown. This Australian dragon has a small, squat body with 2 wings used only for gliding from tree to tree when attacking prey. Its yellow-brown coat with black stripes provides useful camouflage in its treetop home. Its large ears and eyes are excellent for night hunting. Long spined ear flaps and spiked eyebrows are also distinguishing features of this species. Yeah, so that it is distinguishable. I noticed the eyebrow thing straight away because I haven't looked through this book before doing this video with you. I wanted each page to be a surprise for me as well, so I thought that was really interesting. And then these are going extinct too. Obviously they don't even exist, but I kind of feel like they do now. Like I feel like all these dragons exist in the wild. Looks like it's hugging the tree. How cute. So it's got the baby on the back until it's fully grown. There's some really good detail. I love the way the artist, he also has a story behind all of the images, not just drawing images. He gives it all a story and brings it to life. Here we are in Central Asia. This dragon looks like he's asking you a question. Like, hello, what's your name? Are you going to answer me? I like that. He's cute. And here he is in full form. And he's laying on top of some fossil rocks. Is that a snake? Is that what he eats, maybe? He's got lots of spots and some scales down his spine. I really like that. And then he's got two little beard things. They're probably not beards, I don't know, but I just see them as like little goatee things. So this one is a lindworm. The lindworm is usually seen at a distance hunting its favourite prey with wild Bactrian camels on the huge empty steppes of Central Asia. It is easily told apart from other species, since it is the only dragon with 2 legs and no wings. This serpentine creature has the keenest sense of smell for any dragon, a factor contributing to the difficulty of studying it at a close range. It can almost always spot or smell an intruder from many miles off and so make good its escape. Its colour varies from pale green to orange to sandy yellow depending on the local terrain, affording the lindworm good camouflage. It has tough, leathery skin all over except its belly, which has thick scales. Older males have yellow spines along their back. So that's really cool. So it's kind of like a chameleon in a way, so it can change colours depending on its background and like its setting kind of thing, where it is. And that's really cool. I like it. So it's only got 2 arms and nothing else, so it must like slither along like a snake. Number 17. I'll try and hurry a bit because we're already half an hour into the video because I'm reading them all to you. I don't want to make it super long for you all. So number 17, Tibetan, I don't know how you say that, Tibetan dragon? Tibetan dragon is a shy, reclusive beast of great wisdom and beauty. It thrives in high altitudes where its main prey is the Himalayan yeti, a large ape that has adapted to the cold conditions and rarefied atmosphere of the Tibetan dragon's mountain home. The association between Tibetan dragons and the so-called dragon monks of the Himalayas goes back many centuries. The monks appoint a dragon master from among their ranks to maintain good relations with the local dragon, which will accept gifts and attend various ceremonies. The Tibetan dragon is usually iridescent red or orange with spines along its back and a large feathery tip on its tail. Its head horns retain their bright red velvety covering throughout the year, and its long curled feelers are reminiscent of a handlebar moustache. We can give him a handlebar moustache. So cute. I think I'm going to use this book as well as an excuse to use some of my kind of glittery stuff that I have. So I actually last week ordered a jelly roll gel pen that's it's clear but it has glitter in it so that you can do glitter overlays on your projects, and I've not done that before. So that came last week. So to make some of this iridescent and stuff like that, I think I'm going to have a go at making it glittery and adding the glitter on top of the colours, so that'll be quite fun to have a go at. Also maybe some paints and stuff would be quite cool. I've not tried paint on this paper, but again it's one-sided, so you make sure you put some block paper behind to catch anything that might seep through, but the paper is really good quality and it's thick, so I can't see it being too bad. This is number 18 then, Incognito. We're only just nearly halfway, I swear. I'm going to speed up now. For many years, controversy has reigned over the very existence or non-existence of this dragon species. Despite a number of supposed sightings in recent years, it remains a creature of mystery. The very few ancient records that have been found allude to its existence deep in the remote heart of the Amazon rainforest of South America. Although these records give little in the way of detailed information about its appearance, one report of a recent sighting describes the mysterious creature as completely dragon-like, while another account describes it as being gold and silver, leaving one to wonder whether the latter witness was observing a statue rather than a living dragon. Perhaps we will never know, but in the meantime, dedicated dragonologists the world over continue the search. Ooh, so he's incognito. He's hiding from everyone and nobody knows his true form. That's awesome. And you can see he's kind of hiding behind his big wings there, so he could make the wings really magnificent and stand out and make that the main part of him, I think. That's what I'm going to try and attempt. But I like the way as well, on the trees, it's got like moss and stuff hanging from the trees. You can make this a really interesting piece. I love it. You can see him holding onto his wings like, you're not allowed to look at me. Now we're moving on to Europe now, Nooker. He looks interesting. We've got some different crystals here. I've actually started learning the best way to colour in crystals. I've got some tutorial books and stuff to use, and they teach you how to do different textures and different items, so I'm going to have a go at that with this book. Number 20 then, my lucky number, Nooker. The nooker is unusual in that it chooses, despite its Latin name, to live in a hole, often in a damp location rather than a cave. While some authorities claim the nooker is simply a junior form of the European dragon, this is almost certainly not the case. It is partial to rabbits, farm animals and fish. The larger specimens have been known to take deer and even stray children. A nooker's call can be described as a low gurgling noise reminiscent of water draining away. Serpentine in appearance, the nooker has a small head in relation to its long body, which can be brown, dull red or greenish blue, but often becomes caked in mud, which obscures its true colour, making it appear a slimy brown. This flightless dragon can grow from 3 to 6 feet high at the shoulder and up to 30 feet in length. Wow, it's a big dragon. He's holding onto a little fishy. I like that. There's some little mushrooms. He's hiding in the bushes. He kind of just looks intrigued by what you're doing. I love his facial expression. He's got his little wings. I like that. He's got a really long tail sticking out of the bushes. And the fish is looking up at him like, oh my god, what are you? Number 21, dwarf dragon. Oh, he must be really small because look how that's the dragonfly and then he's there, so and he's on a branch, so he must be quite small. It looks like he's got like 4 arms because it's like another shoulder and elbow like going onto his wing. This one's a dwarf dragon. What they lack in size, dwarf dragons make up for in character, being naturally mischievous in nature. Easily tamed, they will nevertheless bite all but their owner at the slightest provocation. Dwarfs also have a magpie-like tendency to steal small, shiny objects. Wild dwarf dragons hunt in swarms of up to 100 individuals and are found in the Great Pine Forest of Siberia or the tundra's edge in northern Canada. A colony of dwarf dragons will build a hive from any materials available. Like soldier ants, they exterminate everything in their path and build a new hive each night, often from bones. Dwarf dragons have a stout body with stubby wings and are able to bear up to 3 times their own body weight. They have less body armour than other species and are bright blue with pale underparts. A dwarf's large head features a prominent nose horn, spiny ear flaps and distinctive red eyes. Ah. So you can hold up to 3 times his weight. That is there. That's amazing. He's very strong. And like a little soldier ant. I love that. And again, we've got like another magpie type dragon where he steals shiny things. The dragons must just like gold and expensive items. They have good taste, eh? Stealing everybody's crystals. Then we have the wyvern. He has some large wings. Since their great size makes movement on the ground a clumsy affair, adult wyverns spend much of their time on the wing. Adults can remain airborne for days at a time, landing only to sleep in rocky crags or in remote areas of sand dunes or grass. They prefer the open spaces of African savanna and prey on the large mammals that live there, although humans are often lifted by mistake, despite the fact wyverns are known to be friendly to people. Wyverns are the largest of all dragon species, with 2 enormous wings that together can have a span of almost 100 feet. With larger, smoother scales than other species, wyverns are comfortable to ride. They are usually green to greenish brown with pale underparts. Some older specimens develop lime green spotting on the outer edges of the wings. Wow. They must be super tough if they can stay in the air for days on end and not have to land. Surely that would make them tired. Well, this looks like this is kind of more like the typical dragon that you would normally see, that I would normally picture in my head if you said a dragon. Now we are here with a Mexican amphitheater. I'm not sure how you say that, but we've got some heart crystals this time. Little cuties. He looks really vicious. Oh, he's scaring everybody at the temples. Mexican amphitheater. That's what I'm going to say. I don't know if it's right. The bird-like amphitheater is found in Mexico and the jungles of Central and South America, often near the ruins of ancient cities where they were once worshipped as gods. The dragon's dazzling plumage, coupled with its lack of legs, make it one of the most interesting dragons to observe. Perhaps due to not having feet, the amphitheater has developed a number of original ways to catch its prey. It uses both its tongue, the longest of any dragon species, and its tail to grab smaller prey, such as monkeys, from the tops of tall jungle trees. The amphitheater has very large feathery wings and a long feather-tipped tail. Lustrous green-blue scales run along the neck, back and tail. Its belly is pale green and its head bears a feather frill and cheek tufts. During the summer breeding season, the mane and tail feathers turn a golden colour and the wings show a purplish sheen. So this one's super scary. It has no legs, which looks really strange for a dragon. So he's just flying by wings, and then he can grab you with his tail or his tongue, which is strange, but also unique. Oh, how cute. Straight away a dodo popped into my head, and it's called Dodo Dragon. So the artist has captured that amazingly because it must actually resemble a dodo. I think it's his big beak that did it as well. And it's got its own little egg there. Dodo dragon. Members of the species Dodo forme bina were pseudo dragons from Mauritius that always travelled in breeding pairs. Passing sailors stopped off at the island found them easy to catch by laying trails of sage stuffing, which the creatures found irresistible. This practice also gave the animals otherwise unpleasant meat some semblance of taste. As two breeding dodo dragons were always caught at a time, their extinction was inevitable. Almost identical in coloration to the extinct birds that gave them their name, dodo dragons had scales on their body in a variety of grey hues, long white tail feathers and stubby black claws. The most prominent feature was their yellow beak-like muzzle and the bright green teeth, both of which made it very difficult, if not impossible, for them to hide themselves with any degree of success. Maybe that's why dodos were extinct, because they're the kind of colours that don't really blend in at all. So they're always going to get captured by prey and stuff, which is quite sad actually. I love his tail. Looks like a big leaf. And he just looks really cute. He can make a really... I'm looking forward to colouring his head in, I think. That's the most part I'm looking forward to doing. He's got like a little claw there. He's a cutie. Oh dear. This one's jumping out at the page. Number 26, Indonesian dragon. Unusually for an Asian dragon, the Indonesian possesses a pair of wings. It lives along the coast of Indonesia at the boundary between the land and sea, where the waves are at their strongest. The Indonesian dragon generally feeds on fish and will often lie in wait near fishermen at work, only striking when the nets are full so it can steal the whole catch. Despite its large size, it is capable of running so swiftly across the surface of the sea that it does not sink beneath the waves. Indonesian dragons are usually green, blue or black. They have a roundish head framed by a thick mane and topped by stubby horns. This lung species has larger back legs than its Chinese cousin and splayed webbed feet for running on water. Oh, look how intricate and detailed the tail is. That's really cool. It does resemble the Chinese dragon a lot, doesn't it? This one's got a handlebar moustache as well. And he looks really strong. Look at his muscles. Wow. He's muscly. He's got like a big beard. And his little knobbly knees. He's really cool. He looks really fierce and angry. Moving on, Frozen North. Frost dragon. We're getting towards the snow. Some more crystals. This one looks like got antlers. So it's like a reindeer in the snow. Oh, that's a really nice addition. I like it. Frost dragon. So this one then is a frost dragon, Draco occidentalis maritimus. Exceedingly rare, frost dragons are unlikely to be encountered in the wild, given that their polar habitat is extremely inhospitable to humans and their numbers are dwindling. Lovers of the cold, frost dragons migrate thousands of miles each year to ensure that they spend their lives in winter darkness. Frosts are expert and graceful swimmers, diving through ice to reach prey, swimming below. A fierce and frosty blast is used to freeze victims before they are devoured. Frost dragons are the spikiest of all dragon species, with a distinctive ridge of spikes extending from head to tail. They are usually pure white or white tinged with blue or pink, with shimmering scales. Frosts have piercing yellow eyes and possesses the most remarkable eyesight of any dragon. Wow. This one sounds really, what's the word? Kind of like mystical, kind of like you could make it really opalish colour. I'm looking forward to that. I'd really like to make it kind of like an off-white but sparkly, glittery kind of iridescent colour. I think that would make it look really awesome. But I love the way that it's got antlers on its head, a bit like reindeer in the snow. Reminded me of Christmas and Santa. It's also got some weird like things growing downwards, almost like more antlers, but they go down. And this dragon, instead of breathing fire, he breathes ice. Different. Another sea one. Sargasso dragon, the only known fully aquatic dragon species, thought to have died out, but only in recent years. The Dragocampus sargassus lived in the North Atlantic Sargasso Sea, where it existed entirely on a diet of fish and seaweed. Rather than breathing fire, it could suck in seawater, superheat it and jet it back out, effectively killing and deliciously poaching its prey at the same time. Lurking among dense kelp forests, D. sargassicus made its weedy layers from the collections of flotsam and jetsam that accumulated there. As ships can on occasion find themselves becalmed in the Sargasso Sea, especially in the area surrounding Bermuda, it is possible that this sea-dwelling dragon was responsible for some of the famous disappearances of seafaring vessels there, having mistaken them for prime quality nesting material. Like the sargassum fish, with which this marine dragon shared its habitat, the sargasso was predominantly orange, black and white, with a long kelp green tail. This one's really interesting then. So it's kind of saying that it's this dragon that caused some ships to disappear through the Bermuda Triangle, since it mistaked them for food kind of thing. It's enveloped in all different seaweed and stuff, so that's a really cool effect when you've coloured it in. The fish are looking super angry. I might add in a close-up picture of each page while I'm reading it out for you on the video, just to make it a bit easier for you to see. But I quite like that one. Wouldn't it be so fascinating if somebody actually found like a dragon one day? Because they haven't explored all of the sea yet, have they? There's still a lot of the sea that's left unexplored kind of thing. So I can imagine that there's probably still some creatures deep down in the ocean that still exist from prehistoric times, that have always existed but we just didn't know they were there. That kind of thing really fascinates me. I was thinking about doing a channel where I just talk about stuff like that, where it's just really intriguing and like mysterious and strange things, because I'm really interested in like the paranormal and the unexplainable stuff like that. If you're into that, please like come and have a conversation with me, or like tag me in videos and stuff that you found, because I watch it all the time. Getting back to the colouring book, we have a phoenix dragon. I wondered when we were going to get a phoenix. Described by the ancient Egyptians as an immortal firebird that is reborn from the ashes of its nest, the phoenix is, in fact, a pseudo-dragon that sets its nest of cinnamon twigs on fire. It uses the flames as a bath to cleanse its plumage of parasites. The phoenix is a peaceful creature that avoids confrontation. Unusually for a pseudo-dragon, it eats no meat, feasting only on forest fruits, particularly dates. Although phoenixes were once common in Egypt and Arabia, it is now thought that only one survives in a secret location. Similar in size and shape to a golden eagle, around 2 foot tall, the phoenix has gold and red plumage, orange eyes and long tail feathers that are often fanned out in a manner of a peacock. It is unlikely that you will ever see a phoenix in the wild, so content yourself with reading about them in books. Should you ever find one, please keep all information as to its whereabouts to yourself. So people are going to be hunting down the phoenix, but I know where it is. I already know where the one phoenix is, and I will let you all know. Dumbledore has it in his office in Hogwarts. I've seen it there. I saw it with my own eyes. But how beautiful is a phoenix? I love the thought of colouring phoenixes with the fire and the red, oranges and yellows and flames. So you could make it all just like the page on fire. Because this dragon bathes in fire, apparently. Now we have Hydra. So does this dragon have 3 heads? It does. So this again reminds me of Harry Potter with a three-headed dog. Is there any other Harry Potter fans out there? This one is Hydra. So the Hydra is a rare example of a dragon with cannibalistic tendencies, as its preferred food is other dragons' chicks. Individuals have 3 to 7 heads, which are known to fight among themselves. The Hydra is the only species that reproduces by splitting, when one head separates from the main body to form a new creature. Though shunned by other dragons, the Hydra has been known to befriend humans. With the combined intellect of its heads, it can learn to speak other languages quickly, though entering into a conversation with this dragon should be undertaken with caution. Hydras are usually green or brown, with thick-set bodies to support their multiple heads and 2 useless wings. Sharp spines on the head and back may be poisonous. The configuration of horns, whiskers and wattles varies between the heads. Oh, this one's different. How strange though that it reproduces by splitting into more heads or other dragons. But 7 heads, they must be super clever. No wonder they can learn languages quickly, having 7 brains. He's looking at himself in the mirror. He looks like he's posing for the mirror. Say cheese. I like that one, that's cute. Just reminds me of Harry Potter again. Ooh, look at this one. It kind of reminds me of King Kong. Gargoyle. Masters of camouflage, gargoyles can be found perching amidst the stonework of city buildings. They are most at home on rooftops or amongst the carvings of Gothic cathedrals, where they are often mistaken for gargoyles. This species has spread throughout cities in Europe, feeding on rats, bats, cats, and occasionally human food. Their small wings prevent them from being accomplished flyers, so they rely on surprise attacks from above. Gargoyles are grey or green, but their colour can change to match their surroundings, making them very hard to spot, as they often sit motionless for days. Their muscular body is covered in leathery skin, which can withstand any degree of heat. Short hooked spikes run the length of their back, and their wings sport prominent spines. It kind of would need to withstand any heat if it's on top of buildings. It would be in direct heat from the sun there. How cool. It looks really strong, it's really muscly. It does remind me of like King Kong on top of the building. But that's awesome. Imagine if you see a dragon gargoyle somewhere on top of a building, just know that it could be this gargoyle, because it's a master of camouflage, and you might be mistaking it for a statue, but it's not. It's this dragon. We are nearly at the end. Indian Naga. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This one actually is creeping me out a little bit. I don't know why. It looks really sad, like forlorn, like a little old man, but his face is actually creeping me out. I don't know if it's because it's kind of almost human-like, but also a dragon. I don't know. What do you think? This one, the splendid beast, which was once earnestly studied by dragonologists throughout its range in the Thar Desert, is now believed to have become extinct due entirely to the actions of humans. How mean? This represents the saddest failure in recent years of our attempts to conserve and protect such wonderful creatures. The Naga's disappearance is all the more poignant because although its lower body is snake-like, its face looks almost human. Coming in a veritable rainbow of different colours, which included green, red, black and white, most Indian Nagas have a prominent element of gold in their coloration. This was most clearly visible on the spines running along their back and in their thick spiny mane. Oh, that's actually a really sad story. So it's also portrayed really well by the artists on this page, because the dragon looks really sad and it's kind of a sad story, and it does look very human-like but also mixed with a snake at the same time and a dragon. So that's actually really good. It's really captured emotion well in this image. Like, I'm not a professional or anything, like rating or whatever other people's images. I'm not in any way a professional of that kind of thing, but I just think it's really... people have got a lot of talent, and they're very talented to be able to portray emotion on an image, because if you saw my images, you can't really portray emotion with stickman. Because that's all you'd get from my artwork, I'm afraid. Here we have a Japanese Ryu, is that how you say it? He looks super fun. And then we've got some square crystals. Oh, he's reading, he must be really clever. I'll try and get some pictures of the 4 pages for you all. Like I said, Japanese Ryu. Lovers of water. Let me try and get the page in front of you. Lovers of water, Ryu are found all over the islands of Japan, but are encountered in greatest profusion in highly volcanic areas. Their lairs are situated underwater in deep freshwater pools or shallow sea bays. They can often be found sharing thermal springs with unlucky masks. Rai eat a wide range of foods from wild boar to carp, but have an incurable fondness for wild cherries. A ryu rarely attacks, but it does. It uses its horns to impale enemies. Fire teeth, claws, and tail lashing are also occasionally used. Exceptionally, these Far Eastern dragons can communicate in writing, using wet alabaster as ink, their tails as brushes, and skin shed from their bellies as parchment. Ryu can be blue, green, red, or gold. They have backward sloping spines along the length of their back and semicircular scales all over their body. Males are featherless, but females have a feathered tail. Both males and females have a long head with antler-like horns and prominent whiskers. Oh, I love him. He kind of grows me out though, that uses its shed skin off its belly as parchment. Like, that's kind of gross, but how cool. He uses his tail as a paintbrush. That's really, really cool. I love it. It looks super clever. It does have a good paintbrush tail. Ooh, this one's interesting. Let's see how many is left. Right, I'll try and speed up. There's about 4 or 5 left. I'll hold it up a bit. I don't feel like the light's very good for you on here. Right. I don't know how to say this. Megadracosaurus titanicus, maybe? But this one does look super scary. He's bigger than the trees. You can see the trees and is towering over the trees. The sight of Megadracosaurus, the largest dragon ever known, may give some people cause to feel thankful that not all prehistoric dragon species, or proto-dragons as they are known, survived the calamity that destroyed the dinosaurs. This terrifying beast, standing twice as tall as the tallest trees and with an appetite to match, would certainly have posed a threat even to a creature like Draconodon, depicted in the foreground of the picture on the right. Oh, so this little one. Believed to be the sprightly ancestor of modern dragons. Since these giants in all probability died out long ago, we have little evidence for their coloration. However, we do know that they were covered in circular markings. Many dragonologists believe that since these titans had no need to camouflage themselves due to their incredible size, they may have come in a variety of bright and highly colourful hues for the purposes of display. Wow, he is covered in spots. He's just ginormous. He's towering over this little dragon. So you can just imagine how big he must have been. He looks super evil, just shoving his face like, I found you. Ah, this is so cute. Look at his little tiny arms. It reminds me of those memes that you see with the dragon, with the dinosaurs' little arms, like where they can't reach anything. It reminds me of that. This is a Dracosaurus rex. It's like a Tyrannosaurus rex. One of the largest prehistoric species of dragon, D. rex, as it's affectionately known, seems to have evolved to prey almost exclusively on early Homo sapiens. These early humans proved such easy pickings that D. rex gradually lost its ability to fly or breathe fire, relying instead on its vicious teeth and claws to ensure victory over its prey. Despite its huge size, D. rex's lack of intelligence proved its greatest drawback when Homo sapiens invented the spear, and thus it soon became extinct. While even the most experienced dragonologists can only speculate, some theorise that D. rex evolved to blend in with its surroundings by having sky blue scales underneath and green colouring above. Unfortunately, during the volcanic explosions of the Upper Paleolithic, the sky blue parts may unluckily have made them stand out all too clearly against the soot-darkening skies, making them clearer targets for spear-wielding humans. Oh, that's sad. So it's become extinct. The humans extincted it. We've got some little human bones down here. I don't know if you can see. Little skull and bones. So the early humans, they lost its ability to breathe fire. So they had to use its teeth. I'm gonna go while looking up at him. Missed the page. Next one we have the basilisk. Again, we've got some different shaped crystals on here. These are ovally like teardrop shaped. Then we've got a little basilisk. I think this is the last one because we had 40 images and we're on number 40 now. So here we have the basilisk. Although reported basilisk sightings point to a preference for layers amongst the bluebell woods of southern England, its status as a guardian of the Basel, Switzerland suggests a wider range. The basilisk was once thought to be able to kill its prey with a single glance, and although this appears to be untrue, its hypnotic stare can render victims powerless. No further verification of these accounts have been possible, since in all cases the encounter ended with the death of the human party. Very few descriptions of this species exist, and those that do are entirely contradictory. Despite the basilisk's shape-shifting ability, it is believed to be fondest of taking the guise of a dragon's chick, probably in an effort to look less dangerous than it really is. The basilisk's eye remain a constant identifying feature, a piercing emerald green, glinting with flecks of gold. Ooh, so you can make a thing of its eye. But it's got some wings on its back as well as its little arms. I like the swirl. A little swirl on his shoulder thing. And then he's got some little dotty eggs in his little lair. But that kind of wraps up the book. I've actually really loved this. I know I've been nabbering on for ages throughout the whole book, like talking you through every single page, but I've actually found it really interesting. Like, I'm telling a story about dragons and we've just literally together learned information about all different dragons, so now you can go away and tell people that you know, and you'll be able to spot what each type of dragon is when you see one. But getting back to the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, supporting my channel, and if you are still with me right now, thank you so much for watching the video to this far. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I haven't bored you and by talking through each page, but I thought it might be quite interesting to like learn about the dragons, especially if you haven't got the book, or maybe you just like to have somebody read it out to you. I know I do sometimes. If you have any video suggestions that you'd like to see me do, I'm going to attempt to colour with me next, but if you do have any suggestions, please comment below the video and let me know. Hit the subscribe button to show your support of my channel. It means the absolute world to me. And hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw. I have an Instagram page and a Facebook, which will be linked down below as well in the description, so go ahead and give me a follow and tag me in your finished pages of this dragon colouring book, because I would love to see the different dragons and I would find it just so amazing. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.